Hey guys, welcome to week 130 here on the Real DVD Watchers. On Thursdays, it's me, Tom. The movie that I've chosen to review today is something that I heard about from Patton Oswalt, and his hero is this Hollywood movie producer named Robert Evans. Robert Evans, of course, is infamous movie producer, who was head of Paramount Studio at one time, and he produced such movies as, The Godfather, Rosemary's Baby, Harold and Maude, like really top grossing movies for Paramount, and really revived Paramount at a time that Paramount was kind of sinking and going under. And so the movie that I've chosen to review today is his documentary called The Kid Stays in the Picture. And basically it's about Robert Evans' life up to the point where he began his career as an actor, all the way up through the scandals, say through the revival of Paramount Studio to his marriage to Ally McGraw, up to the revival of Paramount Studios, keeping it going, up to like the scandals and everything like that happened to him. And it's also based off his book called The Kid Stays in the Picture as well too. And I also have the book on tape, because apparently you need to listen to the book on tape, because Robert Evans has such his voice where it's all this just dull, dragged out sort of, baby, I ain't got nothing else to say, so what are we gonna do about that? I mean, he has one of those voices that just, it's so piercing, and he also narrates the movie too, and it's just this, he just has this great tone about him that's just, you feel like you're just trapped in like this old sense of a movie, and just it feels so great. For a documentary, it's very, very stylized. I like the fact how they incorporate a lot of the old pictures of Robert Evans back in the day, and also show him, in like his younger days when he's acting back, when he was starring opposite Jimmy Cagney, who, when he was acting, was his biggest influence. Him in this one movie where Jimmy Cagney is playing Lon Chaney. I forget the movie is. Then it shows him in The Matador, and how nobody wanted him in the movie. Like Ava Gardner, Tyrone Power, all these people didn't want him in the movie. But then it was Earl Flynn, who at that time, was drunk off his ass. He was like, if I leave, if that kid leaves, I'm done. I'm going. I'm done. And so in the movie The Matador, it's really the movie that made his career in the way of acting. But just as time went on, they just found out that he was a horrible, horrible actor. So that's when Robert Evans decided, maybe I should be the guy behind the camera, calling the shots. That's really what I want to do. So Robert Evans got into producing, and it just followed his life. And it's really hard to review a documentary, but on the same hand, though, it's really interesting to get into this guy's life. I mean, I know documentaries about film. I'm not so much in documentaries about like real life stuff like that. Don't get me wrong though, I still watch them, but just for me, movies about film and filmmakers just really kind of click with me in a way. Maybe it's because I love film so much, and that's why I enjoy movies more so like that. But for me, just from a guy who just essentially got his first acting job because this woman thought he was really attractive, and thought he was an actor. That's essentially how he got his first acting job. So yeah, it's just really interesting to see how that progresses, and it's really interesting to see this guy who essentially had to pretty much man up and do everything himself in the way of taking over Paramount and producing it and getting movies back on track, especially with something like Rosemary's Baby. Watching him pretty much with Mia Farrow just freaking out because of what Sinatra was doing to her at the time, because she was with Sinatra, and him just basically being like, you don't understand, you need to be in this movie because this movie is going to make you a star. And then of course him getting her to that point where she finally sees the movie, she's like, fuck Sinatra, but nonetheless, so this movie just, I think it speaks to almost the pure fanatic in us, that person, almost like that inner little voice that's pushing us to go after what we want and never wants compromise or anything else. That's what I think this movie really touches at, because Robert Evans, he never once backed down from anything in his life. That's the one thing, when he's dead and gone, he will just be like, he never once backed down from any challenge. He always went after what he wanted, and he got it done. So yeah, so for me, I find that actually to be really, really inspiring. And the fact that, that this guy pretty much put it out, all out for us to bear, even like his low times. For me, it's just absolutely great film, and I highly suggest you definitely check this out, because even if like you're not a fan of that whole style of documentary, it's just a really interesting life of this guy, you know, who grew up in New York, essentially had nothing, and, you know, just became one of the top movie producers and pulled the studio out from the dumps when no one else could do it. Hell, he beat out Fox. He beat out MGM for #1 place. I mean, Robert Evans really is a legacy when you think about it. His life is a legacy that we might never see again, really, once he's gone. So yeah, kid stays in the picture. Definitely have to give this movie a rating out of 10. Get like a 7 or 8. This movie is actually really good. I really enjoyed this. You know, just it's kind of inspiring. I kind of feel inspired to do something like that now that I've watched the movie. So yeah. So thanks everyone for watching and subscribe as always. You guys rock, and I will catch you guys in a week's time. Yeah. Later.